I had just uploaded or downloaded all my videos, and I had a lot. I had stuff going back to June on my card, and it's October, and this is what happens when you get a 4 gig memory card in your camera and you're not doing a lot of pictures or videos. And I had taken a video of when I made these concrete countertops, but somehow I must have deleted the video. They're not on there anymore. And what I did is I used this nifty little tool. Yes, that is a grill spatula. It's a large offset spatula, and it worked great. I did it in small batches. I'm talking about maybe a foot square at a time, and I made enough concrete to do like three square feet at a time, or less actually. And I would just get some on there, and I would just plop it on, and I did this like I'm chopping meat, and it just kind of leveled it down, and then I used the back of this and screwed it. And this is where this little tool did that. And I took some videos of how I did the backsplash. And when I got to here, I used the long 4-foot board, and I didn't want to wait, and I used a shorter board to kind of get over there and the side, and I was thinking, oh gosh, if I do it the way I was doing it before, it was just going to take me too long, and I wanted to go to bed early. So I took, literally I needed a pry bar, and put the pry bar on the corner over there, because I could not pull the board, the 4-foot board, off. It was just suctioned on there so hard. So I pulled it off using the pry bar. It's kind of slid and it broke the suction, and I was able to pull it away, and it was very coarse. It was very coarse, and the cat's doing something weird over there. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. So, and then use this to screw there, and then I thought, oh, okay. So I started putting some on the back of it, just putting like a dollop, maybe, you know, just 1 handful or 2 handful, and fitting it on there, and then literally plopping it down. And I just did that going all the way down to the end of the counter, and that worked great. And then I made another batch and came back and did the top. You can see where that was the top of the board, but it wasn't high enough. You can still see where the damaged wallpaper. I still need to come in here and wipe that off better. But it just, a damp cloth will take that right off. Because I had it really bad all over. You can see it comes. And I came through it, and I used a conditioner, a sealer, twice. I did 2 layers before I started the epoxy. There's epoxy on here. You see my finger does not go in that hole. There's epoxy, and I'm not pleased with the glitter I used. It's not glittering. So I pulled out some of my better stuff, and I'll be putting that into the next layer. And I don't think I'm going to do more than another layer. I wanted to come in here and epoxy. You can see where it was just soaking it in. But I was worried that this epoxy wasn't any good because it didn't heat up. But I was only doing it in like 6-ounce batches. And I used, this is actually a heating gun for using embossing powders. But it gets very, very hot. And very just a little bit of airflow in there, but it worked great to get all the air bubbles out. And this was the scraper that I use. It's for cakes, and yeah, you can see that that's messed up, but it's okay. I got 2 more sides I can use to kind of help level things out. Wax paper, and this took several batches. This one leaf took several batches. One box of this got this. I came back and did this already a little bit on the second time when it was still starting to harden, but I was worried because it stayed gummy and it never heated up in the, when I mixed the two, the A and the hardener, when I made the 2 mixes with this. There's supposed to be some heat, and it never did. But it's been 24 hours, and it's hardened. It looks good. And I think another layer on there will work great. Some of it ran over, and I need to deal with that. And I'm doing something else over here. because those words didn't stand out. And I tried using my hot glue gun and tried to put the letters in there, and it didn't look good. I didn't like that. So I used my Cricut, and you sort of know what that is. And I used a Pooh font to make Rejoice, and I'm using the hot glue gun to glue it up there, and I'm going to basically a decoupage. So I'm going to do that on there and get that and put another layer on here. The patch worked well, and yeah, still a mess. Still haven't done the shelves down there. My compost, well, chicken bucket, and I didn't do any epoxy over here. But this is a lot neater, you know, because I did do the board thing. But on the other, I just freehanded it, and I like it, so I'm going with it. And I'm sorry I lost the video that showed me actually working with the cement. This one I had not done that with. I did my best. I just took a 2x2 and tried to scree it and scrape it and level it and kind of pat it and try to work with what I could. And I was taking a hammer and kind of beating on the bottom because I didn't have the dishwasher in at that time. But using that spatula, cooking spatula, and then I thought of, after I finished all this, I could use my offset cake spatula and this at the same time and use the cake spatula to level this down. But I'm not going to go and redo that. So I'm trying to keep up with my videos now, downloading them and making sure I got what information I wanted to share. But this it's supposed to be 72 hours for a full cure, and I think it's 7 hours minimum before you can put another layer on there. So I'm going to do some more dust off, do some cleaning, because some of that scraping and some of the stuff I was doing on here, I feel like there's just kind of feels like there's things on there again. Somewhere, maybe just some glitter I spilled. But I'm going, bought 2 more boxes. I could have bought the big one for $60. It had all 3. Would have been a little bit of savings, but I may not need the second one. I don't know. I'm kind of hopeful. But I will definitely get another layer because it needs to build up and cover. And this was, you know, that would have taken my whole finger in there. And then this is where it had cracked. So it's not that noticeable once this is all filled in. You really can't tell the imperfections. And the places where it is smooth, it's very smooth. It's very glass-like. And you know, you can see how, you know, this is where it's up, and over here is a dip. So that was already filling in just loosely. So I got a paintbrush, got my heat gun, I got my scraper, and but I'm going to get those verses from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 all the way around on the backsplash, going around. So that's what I'm going to work on now. And I'm using, oh, it's glitter paper. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it is white glitter paper. Yeah, I'm into glitter. It's got to be fun, right? Thanks for watching.